Hi, this is Mr. Hartwell, and I have the lucky pleasure of working with you and your child this year. I'm going to be teaching math. So just a little bit about me. This is my 13th year teaching math as a public school teacher. I have a bachelor's degree in education from Miami University of Ohio. I also have a master's degree in technology, and that's from Kaplan University. One of the things I've been working on these past few years is differentiated instruction, and that means that I want to make sure that each learner in my classroom gets the individual support, attention, and curriculum that they deserve. In other words, make sure that everyone is properly both challenged and supported. Also included here, 3 great ways to get in contact with me. I believe that parent contact is very important for a child's success in school. So I have my phone number with my extension, and even if I'm teaching, it'll shoot right to my voicemail. There's also my website, which I'm going to show you in just a minute, www.mrhartwell.blogspot.com, and then my email address, which is dylan.hartwell@avonlakecityschools.org. This year we're going to be following a 7-period schedule, which is just fantastic. We started this last year and had a lot of success. Given that, we've even tweaked it and made it a little bit better this year. So I have my homeroom from 7:45 to 8:10. Kids come in from the bus or from walking. They have the opportunity to visit the restroom, go to their lockers, get themselves organized, and then we have morning announcements. First period is a core class, and core means that it's either going to be math, language arts, social studies, or science. And then you'll notice each of these periods is approximately 50 minutes long, and students have 3 minutes transition from class to class. Last year we found that 3 minutes was more than enough time. In fact, most kids could still go to their lockers and use the restroom between classes. That said, we teachers are generally very forgiving. If a student is late a couple of times, not a big deal at all. So as you can see here, your child will have the first 3 classes are core classes, which is good. Early in the morning, they're still alert. 4th period, they get a nice little break. They get recess and then lunch. 5th period is exploratory, which means they're either doing art or gym, music, or technology. And then 6th period, they have their last core class. And then finally, period 7 is advisory. Advisory is really nice. If a student is doing band or orchestra or in some sort of special club, this is when they'll go there. Also, advisory is a great time for a student to visit a teacher, specifically a core teacher, if they need help or if they want to work on their homework or if they've misplaced a paper, anything like that. They have full permission to visit whoever they need to visit and work with them however long they need. This is a really great thing for your kid to use. Also, it's something that Learwood uses. They also refer to it as advisory, so it's something that they can carry on with them to success at Learwood next year. And then finally, just for the last few minutes of the day, they come back to their homeroom. They have time to once again visit their lockers, get themselves organized, and then usually Mrs. Kogan comes on with some quick closing announcements. So that's our day. It tends to go by very quickly, and this particular schedule is really nice because they get some work in, a nice break, a little more work, and then another break. So it's a really nice schedule. In the green Troy folder that you're getting, either on open house night or your kid will be bringing this home if you were unable to make it to open house. There's a lot of papers in there. The top 4 papers are the ones the office would like for you to fill out and return. That's the FERPA form, the parent-student signature sheet, the emergency medical form, and then there's a yellow emergency form. And those are 4 papers that if you could just get them signed and brought back, the office would really appreciate that. As you know, I teach math. And as I mentioned earlier, I try to differentiate instruction. One way I do that is by giving all students both a pre and a post test. What this does is a couple things. First, it allows students to really see what they're going to be learning. Concrete examples of what they need to know. Also, it lets me know what they already know or what they need to learn. If a student comes in knowing at least 9 out of 10 skills for a particular unit, then I give them advanced alternative work. So it's still within the same field of study. It's still within the same basic standards, the same basic math standards, but it's a little more advanced. Like instead of a basic recall or computation, they might have to apply or synthesize their knowledge in some sort of way. However, if they don't have at least 9 out of 10 skills, that means it's probably worthwhile to be in class. And I will introduce skills, we'll model them, they'll do some homework, they'll practice, we'll use our active expressions, our computer labs, our textbooks, all kinds of great resources that Avon Lake provides. And then at the end, we'll do a post-test, which will be just like the pre-test, to measure how much they have learned. One way you can keep up on how your child is doing is through Gradebook Wizard. You're probably somewhat familiar with this. This year should be really no different. Two things just that I wanted to take time to point out is when you do log on to Gradebook Wizard, and by the way, your username and password will be the same as last year, make sure that you click on the correct class in the upper left-hand corner. Your child will have their core classes and then their specials listed, so make sure that you click on the class you want to see first. Second, this is probably where you'll spend the most of your time. Grades, you'll click there and you'll get a breakdown of how your child is doing. This is also a way to shoot me a message if you want. It's a third way to communicate with me. I will also send you some messages through Gradebook Wizard as well. Also, if there's a district message, if it doesn't go out in a paper form, a lot of times they'll announce them digitally here. Finally, this is my math blog that I've put together just to help us kind of stay together. In the center here you'll see a large calendar. I'll put homework or days of interest up here, and I try to get it up a few days in advance, and in some cases a few months in advance, so that you know what's going on in class. And you can see when field trips are coming up, when student assemblies, or when a child needs a particular item, and of course tests will be posted here on the calendar. And then along the left and right hand side you'll see all kinds of resources, practice tests with answer key, online practice sessions, extra homework copies in case a student misplaces theirs, syllabus, contact information, and then below the calendar there's going to be all kinds of posts. And I'll try to do about one per day just to give you a more specific feedback on what it is we've learned that day. A lot of times I'll even have students help me out taking pictures or collecting videos and that sort of thing. So again, I'm Mr. Hartwell. I'm really happy to be working with you this year. I feel very lucky to work in Avon Lake, and it's not just because of the great facilities, really it's because of the fantastic parents, and I mean that. As a parent myself, I understand that when you say goodbye to your kid each morning and then say hello to them each afternoon, that you want to make sure that they're safe and that they're getting the best education they possibly can. And I'm going to work real hard with you this year to make sure that happens. Have a fantastic afternoon, and I look forward to working with you this year. Bye-bye.